Alright, you can pull it out. This is a Generac cord we ordered from... Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Big Red Fish Dad. I finally made it up to my mom's and getting the generator installed for them. It came in, we were up there in December and did most of the work. You can check that video out for the electrical part of it. And, waited on everything and got stuff in. And so now we're just moving some of the plants because they really wanted it behind the ramp here, kind of out of the way so people couldn't see it as they drove by. So just getting everything leveled off, and then, went and bought one of these great storage sheds to get it out of the weather and store it into. Jigsaw puzzle, of course. Got 10 million pieces and everything else, and sort it all out. If we were to do it again, we probably would just put together a 2x4 frame and a metal building. The generators do get pretty hot, even though we put a couple of vents in and cut some holes for even the exhaust. We have it exhausted out with basically a little round exhaust pipe. Box knife works best for cutting this plastic stuff. Right here's just the hole for the propane line and the electric line. To get the generator over the ramp and into the box, we had to rig something up. The hay spears weren't quite long enough, so we ended up just grabbing one of the 4x4 posts and wedging it in there and strapping it down a little bit, using it to give us about an 8-foot reach, and that lifted it right up in there and over. And then once we had it all installed and lifted in there and everything, we thought we were home free, but as you'll see in the rest of the video, we encountered a few more problems. Our cord came in. And this is a Generac cord we ordered from Zorro, and it would not fit in this box. We took it down to Lock Supply. They opened up one of their boxes. They couldn't get it to fit either. Zorro was good enough to offer it under manufacturer warranty because it's been over their 30-day return. So they sent us a new one. It came in today, and it fits. So we've got that hooked up finally into the generator. And now we're just trying to get it to run. We've been having some issues with the propane. Kind of wish I would have researched this a little more beforehand. Mainly it's because of our 1/2-inch pipe. And we have a pretty good run. It goes all the way down to the corner of the trailer and then down to the propane tank. So I bet it's 80 feet. I don't remember exactly when we put it in. So we thought with the propane adapter, so we could use the hose, the Acme or whatever these are called, I think. We thought maybe that was the problem, not getting enough flow through that. So we decided to go and went to one of the propane shops around here and just got an elbow and a 3/8 line. And we needed a longer one anyway, so that part we needed, so we have some space and we can move this into the center to give it more air. And so we got that hooked up, and now it would start and then shuts off. If you let it sit for a few minutes and build up some pressure in here again, it'll start again and then shut off. So I did some research, and since we have a low pressure regulator on the tank, it is not getting enough pressure, of course. Hindsight, most generator installers and propane people already know this, but since we're learning, we would have had to run, I think it was almost 2-inch pipe all the way over here to get the proper amount of propane. So what we did, went to talk to them, and we're going to change out to a high pressure regulator on the tank, since they don't run anything except for the generator off of it. Do have a heater in the shop, but it's summertime, so before winter we'll have to get a regulator for that. And I will go over there and install that and go all the way down to here. And so it's just, too far of a run. We may end up having to change the line even with the 10 psi regulator, but we're not sure. So we're going to try this out first. The guys at the propane shop figures that this will work. He said it would probably be okay until it gets cold and wintry, and then the pressure drops a little bit. So but before then, we will probably run the poly tube all the way around. They've also discussed, since they don't really need the heater anymore, just move this tank down to the corner of the garden there, and then it would only be 30 or 40 feet of a run. For now, we're gonna just change this out. Should be pretty simple. They gave us all the adapters and everything, so just shut your tank off here, unhook both of these, and put the new one in place, and then we'll see if it runs. So changing out the regulator on the propane tank to a high pressure regulator seemed to work just fine. Was able to get it running. Started right up now with the new regulator on there, so the 1/2-inch pipe is probably going to work. Went in, tested it. We've got it running right now. I think the AC and several ceiling fans, all of the refrigerators. So she has 2 freezers and a side-by-side in the garage, and then the regular side-by-side refrigerator in the house, and all of those, you know, are on now. And the air conditioner also. You do hear the generator bog down when the AC kicks on, but that's to be expected. So other than that, I think she'll be fine. The oxygen machine's running just fine. The refrigerators, that's really all you need. You know, the AC will be great for them because you know, it does, this time of year it gets hot and muggy, right? Right after a storm, it's going to be very humid anyway. So having the AC, and just make sure you don't run the coffee pot or the microwave. We did do that. We turned the coffee pot on when the AC was running, and all the ceiling fans and everything else on, just to see, and it actually ran it. You could really hear it bog down when you turned on something with a heating element in it. So just be careful what you turn on, but this generator should work for them just fine. You know, we were able to run the air conditioning, the oxygen, and all the refrigerators, so that's really the main things they need. They can always turn the air conditioner off while they try to cook or do something like that if it's going to be an extended period of time. Yeah, anyway, as you can see here, once you're done, you just turn everything off on the generator, and then, you know, the lockout plate does its function, and just when the electricity comes back on, you'll turn everything off, flip your generator breaker off, and your main breaker back on. There are little things you can hook up in your breaker box here, like a little light or a little alarm that says that goes before your main breaker, and that'll tell you when your electricity comes back on. But they actually have a light out on the pole before it comes to the house, so they actually have one right there on the, it's right in their front yard, on the pole coming straight in. So they'll be able to see that when that light kicks on. And of course, if it's during the daytime, then, you know, they'll just have to wait. This channel's all about just learning as we go, so this was a very good project for that. We had to do some research on propane and kind of learned a lot about that, distances and pressures and everything. Would have been nice to have even, but you know, where to start, right? I mean, that's kind of the way this goes. We didn't really know. We just thought you hook it up to propane and it runs, right? Well, no. Yeah, there's lots of things. Even I was talking to the guys at the propane shop. They were very helpful, and they're there in Eufaula, Oklahoma. Is what I forgot the name of the shop there, but it's right there in Eufaula, and they were really helpful in talking about the pressures, and even they weren't sure that the problem was the volume, but it could have been the pressure, because this is a portable generator and it's designed to run off of a tank. They said it might not be enough pressure to open the pressure regulator in the generator. So that's why when it runs on a tank, you know, when you hook up your barbecue bottle to it, it worked just fine, because there's you know what, 150 psi or so coming off of that, which will cause the regulator in the generator to kick on and then allow propane. So it could have just been not enough pressure, not necessarily flow. But there's all kinds of things like that. So, and that's why you want the bigger line, and you know, to keep up with the flow and stuff like that. So, and if you start reading about it, there's surge. Some people put like a 4-inch pipe for about 2 feet right before they hook up to whatever they're hooking up. That's in case there's a surge and it needs an instant power boost of propane or something. So I don't know, lots of things to do, and it was kind of fun to learn, something I had never even thought about. We just assumed you'd hook it up to the bottle, hook it up to the thing, and be done, right? So we bought us a little bottle adapter and put that on the top, and wow, it didn't run. So back to the drawing board, but it was worthwhile. Learned some stuff and did some new things. So thanks for watching, and as always, we'll catch you in the next video.